Hi everyone. In this exercise, we're going to work through 10b. The title of 10b is Arrangements, but actually we're only doing the first two questions because that helps us set up for the exercise that comes afterwards. It'll also mean we're going to miss out on a lot of the counting methods theory. Just as a teaser for the next exercise, we're going to have to introduce an equation without explaining where it comes from. And where it comes from is in the other part of 10b that we're not going to do. This is going to be a chance for enhancement. Once you get to the end of this chapter, you have a choice of exploring 10b in more detail, even though this content isn't going to be assessed. Our learning intentions are to understand factorial notation and to evaluate factorial expressions. Our success criteria is can identify and evaluate factorial expressions by hand and with the CAS. Here's factorial notation. You know you've got factorial notation when you've got that exclamation mark. We call it factorial, so n exclamation mark is set as n factorial. And a factorial is a short way of writing the product of all the integers from n down to 1. Product means to multiply. So we start from our number, then we multiply the next number down, and then the next number down, then the next number down, and all the way until we've gotten to our final number. Now be careful, don't multiply any more than that. You can probably guess what happens to the entire thing if you times 0. Let's work through an example where we evaluate a factorial by hand. 5 factorial, let's write it out. 5 times the next number down, 4 times, 3 times 2 times 1. 5 times 4, 20. 3 times 2, 6. The answer is 120. Another example, 3 factorial. 3 times 2 times 1. And to evaluate it, that's 3 times 2. The answer is 6. Of important note, 0 factorial is defined as 1. Please be careful. 0 factorial is not the same as 0 times 1. Firstly, you can't times upwards because you're supposed to times downwards. We define it as 1 because it helps us with our calculation of combinations of things. Once again, I can't explain y equals to 1 until I can fully explain this current exercise on arrangements. But you can explore it as enhancement once we finish the entire chapter, why 0 factorial is equal to 1. You can also work out factorials very quickly on the CAS. Let's say, for example, 8 factorial. I don't want to do 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 and so on by hand. It's going to be a very big number. So on your CAS, in the calculator program, you first type 8. Then to access factorial, you press menu, then go down to option 5, probability, then press option 1, factorial. That gives you your factorial symbol. You'll see 8 factorial in your calculator screen, and if you press enter, it gives you the number right away. That's it for exercise 10b on arrangements. Let's cover our learning intentions to understand factorial notation and evaluate factorial expressions. Please check whether you can do that using the questions in style. I do recommend actually taking your CAS out. Use the steps that I've just given to see whether your CAS is displaying those numbers correctly.